hope you are well. Thank you for joining me on my mat today. Today's class is going to be a kind of slowed down vinyasa, but that doesn't mean to say that you're not going to work as hard or with as much intention, say. We're going to work kind of building to a peak pose, which is what I've been practicing just recently. And I suppose the joy of that is that you have a goal, not kind of yogi-like maybe, but you feel yourself preparing, so you're being a little bit more specific in your practice. So our peak pose today is going to be Bird of Paradise, which is a standing, balancing, binding, lots of stuff going on, quite an advanced pose. We might not get there, you might not get there, I might not get there today, but that's all good. So we're going to be doing lots of external hip stuff, so turning our legs outwards. We're going to be taking some binds, more so coming around the back body and taking our shoulder blades back into place. Yet binding and opening through the chest a little bit more, because that's really important to be able to do those binds. And yeah, we're going to kind of take a little bit more of a mandala, or using almost circling around our mat as well. So something maybe that you haven't done before, but it should bring something different to your practice, which is always good. As always, be mindful of injuries. If you have any, we are going to be working a lot into the hamstrings today, so soften off those knees. Use blocks to bring the earth closer. In fact, we'll need a couple of blocks today, so definitely set them up. If you don't have blocks, bricks, whatever you have, even just a couple more if you've got an extra mat that you can roll up and place fingertips on, perfect. So we'll get started. We're going to come into just a seat to start off with, placing 2 blocks underneath our sitting bones so we're nice and high. And we're going to take a really wide knee Virasana. So again, just little modifications here and there. So already starting to get into our hips, our groin region, tucking the tailbone just slightly so we feel the weightiness, but also we find that length through our spine. If it feels good, begin to close down your eyes. If you want to put some music on, definitely do it. I'm not going to add any music today, it's just going to be me. Slight nod, chin to the chest, soften the eyes, the cheekbones, your forehead, the jaw. Take a long deep inhalation through the nose, and exhale out of the mouth. Arrive on your mat in this present moment. And again, inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. One more, inhaling and exhaling. Take a moment to pause, to find a more natural, easy breath, and perhaps to start to move into Ujjayi breath with a little bit more purpose, a little bit more intention, deepening the breath into the lower abdomen, hearing the breath at the back of the throat, resonating in the mind. And if you have a purpose or an intention for your practice today, allow that to come into your mind's eye now, and just allow it to drift on in every so often throughout the practice if you can. Gently nod the chin to the chest, release any tension through there. Flutter that eyelids open, and we'll get going into some prep work. So moving those blocks from beneath your sitting bones and just bringing them out in front of you. If you have maybe a third block or something else, just bringing the earth closer. Of course, you can stack up nice and high as well. We're going to come into front pose. Now, a reminder, this is quite a deep pose to start off with. So we don't have to drop all the way down. You can take single leg as well. So if you know that you're super tight in your hips, then just come to lay down on your front Sphinx pose, and then you can slide the right knee and flex, so you've got right angles at the hip, at the knee, and at the ankle, and you're just going to hold there, and you're going to push through that right knee hold. And then after kind of a minute or so holding, you're going to switch sides. Otherwise, you're welcome. If you have your mat, you can even double up, place the knees nice and wide, flex the feet again, or the ankles, drop those blocks out ahead of you, and then come down onto the forearms perhaps, and come into It's not a full front because we're not laying all the way down on our belly, but it's just as a prep pose to open the hips and the groin. And then a slight tuck of the tailbone, and then you almost want the sensation that you're squeezing your knees and almost your shins down to the mat. So it's quite active. We're not just dropping off here like we would in the yin pose. Try and release any tension through the shoulders. Breathing in and breathing out. So if you are taking your single leg variation, then perhaps take a moment to transition onto the other side now. Holding there, inhaling, and exhale. Inhaling, and exhale. We're going to start to lift up onto the hands, the fingertips, and just move our blocks over to the right hand side. And then you're just going to lengthen out the left leg and just gently tuck the right knee behind, almost like we're coming into Vinyasa on the right side. The left leg is long, and then we're just going to drop and open up into that groin. Again, you can always be up a little bit higher, stretching into the foot there, into the inner thigh. Turning the foot down. Too much on the knees, of course, pad up the knees, or you can rock yourself back and come actually off the patella itself, and perhaps turn the foot up more like a skandasana. Holding there, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Walking the blocks back, drawing left knee in, and turning the foot in towards you like a half Virasana, and then stretching that right leg out as you move the blocks over to the other side. And we'll hold there again, around about 5 breaths. Just a little bit of prep work to get into the inner thighs. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, tucking the tailbone just slightly can help with stretching that inner thigh. And then just release, walking onto the hands again, moving those blocks through center, and then just dropping. If you did turn your mats around, and then you're just going to place from there your blocks on there, medium height, just to the right hand side of your mat, because we're going to use those throughout as we move from left to right. So you're going to turn all the way around from there and just come up to standing. Turn yourself to face the left side of your mat. Soften the knees and come into kind of a narrow forward fold, straddle forward fold. Knees really soft, bending through, and then allowing the head to drop. Breathing in. You can bounce the hips or move from side to side if that feels good. You can lengthen the toe, lengthen your stride out again a little bit more. Inhaling and exhaling. Start to firm up your core muscles by coming onto the fingertips, flat back, inhale. Tuck the tailbone under, lengthen through your spine, really draw your belly in so the rib cage isn't flaring as well. From there you can lift your hands onto your hips, and that might be enough. So you might stay there as the knees bend and tuck the tailbone, nice length through your spine. If you need a little bit more, you're going to tee the arms anymore. You can take the arms all the way overhead in the forward plane. From there, if your hands are on your hips, inhale. Exhale, begin to bend the right knee and lower through the left. You can always take your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, over to left side. Left knee bends. And again, if you're in that forward plane, it's quite strong. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, lift. Over to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fingertips down to the mat. Soften through the knees again and wrap your hands over behind your body into a bind. We'll place the right foot on top. Fingertips wrapping and really draw those arms overhead. Breathing in. Pulling the collarbone forward, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Exhale. On the inhale, use your wrists, your knuckles to lift yourself all the way up. Circling the arms all the way around and up and overhead. Exhale, turn the right toes to face the front edge of your mat and shimmy that right foot through center and arrive into your warrior two pose. Tucking the tailbone, moving the wider in your pose. Have a little glance at the back arm. Is it in line with your shoulder? Keep bending through the front knee, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, inhaling. And on your next exhale, you're going to begin to come into side angle, but rather than placing our hand down, we're going to see if we can wrap our hand behind the foot. Now this is where you can always reach for your block, bringing the earth a little bit closer. Of course, if that is well too much today for that shoulder, you can always bring your block on whatever height you would like to the front of the leg and come into side angle there. But today, if you can, let's practice with that bind, dropping the hand down and coming into side angle, Parsvakonasana here. Left arm straight up from the shoulder in a T. You're welcome to glance down towards the big toe of the right foot. Inhale, exhale, inhaling, exhale. Begin to look down towards the right foot, and then you're just going to work your fingertips as you press up, straightening through the right leg. Again, hands to the inside or the outside of that back leg, straighten the front leg, and coming into triangle pose. Trikonasana. So barely any weight through my fingertips on the right side. You can definitely soften the right knee here. And of course, you can always use that block on the right side. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, circle the left hand all the way down to the mat. Return your block if you used it, and then just put the right toes in. Back to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees. Hands onto the hips. Hands in a T, or arms all the way overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the left knee, straighten the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the right. Almost in Skandasana squat. Exhale, left. Bending the left knee, straightening the right. Last time to the right hand side. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, circle the hands all the way behind you. Left them on top this time. And come into that forward fold stretch with the arms bound overhead. Inhaling here, soften the knees. Exhale, weight distributed equally through the four corners of your feet. Breathing in, shoulder blades away. Exhale, try not to let those shoulders scrunch up by the ears too much. On the inhale, lift through your knuckles, arms release all the way up and overhead. Exhale, left toes to the left side of your mat. Bend through the left knee and arrive in warrior two, facing the left hand side. Breathing in, breathing out. Bending deeply through that front knee, tucking the tailbone. Again, glance back at your right hand as it in line with your shoulder. Glance down so you can see your left big toe. The knee pushing outwards, opening, even as an opening, external rotation here as well. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release the left hand just before it begins to touch. Placing it behind the left foot. Again, use your block. And then lift through the right arm from there, team the arms. Be really conscious here that you're not getting really light on the left foot, or the left inside of the foot anyway. You're firmly pressing through four corners. The arm presses against the leg presses or the knee presses against the arm on that left hand side. Inhale, exhale. Look down towards the left foot, begin to straighten as you release your arm and come into your variation of Trikonasana. But there's no worry here in terms of being really low down. Come up nice and tall and really tuck that left hip under as well as the right so it's not flaring out to the side. You can always have softness in the left knee. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, circle the right hand down, left fingertips down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands onto the hips. We're going to take that one more time. Arms in a T out to the side or straight forward, soft the others. Inhale. Exhale, over to the right, through center. Over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, circle the hands behind you, right thumb on top, and forward fold. Inhale, just come up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold, get deeper, and soften the knees. Inhale, pull yourself up using your wrists and circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, right foot to the right hand side, bend through the front knee, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, taking that wrap side angle pose, hand to the outside, lifting the left arm all the way up, breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling. Exhale, look down towards the right foot, triangle pose. Also, there's an option here of placing your block on its highest height and tucking it right behind your calf muscle. So it's like a little angle and you can really push into your calf muscle here and feel that almost like a rebound effect of the block. Or of course you can release that and just take the hand to the inside or the outside, softening through the knee, breathing in, breathing out. Wrapping the left fingertips down to the mat and the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands onto the hips in a T or overhead. Over to the left, bending the knee. Skandasana, inhale through center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, circle the hands round. Overhead and come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift just once. Exhale, forward fold, get deeper, soften the knees and tilt the hips if you'd like to. Inhale, lift yourself all the way up with the knuckles and take the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, turn the left toes to face the left side of your mat, bend through the front knee, warrior two. Inhaling, exhale, wraps, side angle, hand to the outside, lifting the right arm all the way up, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, take your block with you if you like that variation of taking the block to the calf and then finding that length. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, exhale, release. Right fingertips down to the mat, lock to the side, and then you're going to begin to walk all the way around. Circling, circling, circling with the right foot in front. And then begin to just step your left foot into meet your right, coming into an Uttanasana forward fold. Allow the head to go heavy, the hips to tilt nice and high all the way up, and then begin to roll up through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head, neck and shoulders last to rise. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, take the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, soften the knees and come back into forward fold, Uttanasana. Two sun cell A's. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into your front pose. Lower down on this first one, use chest, chin, or take chaturanga. Elbows in towards your waist. Inhale, allow the collarbones, the chest, the heart to come through, the elbows soft, gaze up the eyes. Curl the toes under, 3 child's pose, or straight into your down dog for 3 breaths. First down dog, so use it to find your alignment, to pedal the feet, to lift the hips really, really high. Breathing in. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. Between the space in your hands, step your right foot through and your left. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, soften the knees into the forward fold, Uttanasana. Holding the breath as you lift and then inhale, arms all the way up, overhead, exhale, hands to your heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, one more time. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Step back left and right. Chaturanga is an option, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is the back bend of your choice, cobra up dog. And exhale, make your way back into down dog once again for your 3 breaths. Finding hip distance or even wider today. First finger pointing forwards, triceps wrapping forwards, biceps wrapping back. Tucking the chin to chest, and also just tucking the rib cage a little bit so it's not flaring. Drawing the belly button in. One more, inhaling. Exhale, drain breath. Look between the space in your hands. Step or float, left foot, right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full fold. On hold, on empty, and then inhale, lift all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Come and find your balance on your right foot here. Spreading the toes wide. Right hand into right hip, then begin to lift your left knee in towards your chest. From there, you're going to take hold of your ankle and place it as high as you can to your inner thigh. Turning the left knee out, the left hip out. Really pressing the left foot in. And you're going to keep hold today of that ankle with the left foot. And see if you can really firm up the thighs, firm up the legs, and really press your thigh into your forearm, into your ribs. Holding there. Both hips facing forwards, like 2 headlights. Inhale. Exhale. You can always find softness in the right knee, squeeze your bum cheeks. And then begin to come back through center. And exhale all the way down. Just really simple switching sides. Left hand, left hip. Right knee in towards the chest. Spreading the toes wide. And then taking hold of the inside of the ankle and placing the foot the inside of the left thigh this time. Keep the hand on the ankle as you firm up the legs and really firmly press. It's almost an asymmetric contraction as you really firmly press your right foot into your thigh, your right ankle and your hand opposing one another. Breathing in, breathing out. Find your drishti, a single point that you can gaze at, perhaps slightly forwards and down or straight ahead of you. Inhale and exhale. Draw the right knee all the way in and exhale, release. Tadasana mountain pose. Take a moment to come back to your intention, your purpose for your practice. And then inhale, circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, come into your forward fold, Vinyasa. Inhale, halfway lift to prepare the spine. Step back into your front pose. Knees, chest, chin, all your chaturanga once again. Inhale through an up dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up, 3-legged dog. On the exhale, set the right foot right between your fingertips and drop your back foot down, rise into warrior 2. We've been here before. Inhale, exhale, back side angle. Opening up through the left side. Inhale here, exhale, see if you can place your hand to the back of your right ankle, almost hooking the ankle and come into triangle. Again, the options are always there to come up taller, wherever feels good for you. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Circle the left hand down, walk the right foot parallel with the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Turning towards the left side of your mat. Stepping the left foot back, plank pose. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale is up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Stepping the left foot between your thumbs. Dropping down to the right foot, circling your arms around, warrior 2, inhale. Exhale, back side angle, use those blocks if you need them. And then placing the hook of back of your base of your heel, coming into triangle, and of course, lifting up whatever works for you in triangle pose. Inhaling, exhaling, circling the hands down, turning the left foot parallel with the right, straddle, inhale. Option here to come into tripod headstand. So placing the hands down, the elbows come in. And then the top of the head comes down onto the mat. If that doesn't work for you and you're not practicing, stay in your forward fold, perhaps reaching, binding for the toes, taking the elbows wide, lifting the hips up nice and high, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise onto the fingertips, come down from your tripod headstand, and then begin to turn your toes over to the right hand side. Step back through plank pose, Vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, Alamelu Svanasana, down dog. Not staying, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot between the thumbs, lower the back foot down, circle the arms around, warrior two. Exhaling, wrapped, side angle. Hand to the back of your heel, triangle pose. Circling the left hand around, straddle, inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, again take the hands into a bind. Staying just with one breath, 2 breaths, so if you want to come up very quickly, you're welcome to. Do so with intention. Exhale, release the hands. Release your tripod headstand and turn your left toes to face. The left edge of your mat, step back into plank pose. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Once again, last time, inhaling, up dog, Urdhva. Exhale, Alamelu Svanasana, down dog. Not staying, inhale, left leg lifts. Stepping the left foot between the thumbs, dropping the right heel down, warrior 2 legs, warrior 2 arms. Circling the left hand under and behind, wrapped, inhale. Exhale. Hand to the back of the heel, left side, triangle, inhale. Exhale, release right hand down to the mat, circling into wide leg forward fold once again. Option to take, again, a bind, the hands through perhaps, or again come into your tripod headstand from there. Do so with control, with integrity. Squeezing the thighs together. Pressing equally through each finger top and the pads, and then slowly, slowly flexing the feet. Come down, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And you can stay there and release the head. And then when you're ready in your own time, you're going to come up onto fingertips, heel toe, the feet in behind you, and come to sit in a yogi squat. Now this is the option of placing that block right underneath your sitting bone there, and come to sit tall. Take the arms wide if that feels good to really open, or just keep your hands at heart center, totally up to you, whatever feels good. Close down the eyes, take a breath, come back to your intention, your purpose. Slow the breathing down once again, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Begin to stretch the right arm to the outside of the toes and the left arm all the way up. And again, of course, if you don't need that block, you can just work through there. Inhale, hands back through center. Left side, hand down. Right arm all the way up. Now if you have Bird of Paradise in your practice and you want to place your right hand under and behind like we did in our single arm, then you can open up through the left side. You begin to internally rotate the shoulder and slide that hand behind you, coming into a bind or just holding on through the fingertips. You can then turn the right toes to face, keep the right foot nice and steady as you walk the left toes in, soften through both knees, and then it's just a case then of bringing, sorry I've done the wrong side, left foot nice and flat, right toes coming in, soften through both knees and then begin to rise and come up. How wobbly are you today? I'm very wobbly. Come down nice and steadily. And of course, we're going to do the other side as well. If Bird of Paradise is not in your practice, you can stay in Alamelu. Just take your breaths there. Or of course, you can just begin to work through those open twists each side. Otherwise, lift the hips slightly, take the left arm out to the side, open through the right, take that rotation of the hand behind you, coming into a bind, either a wrist bind on the hand. Begin to steady through the right foot this time, and the left foot walks in. And then keep the hips nice and low, the tailbone tucked under. And slowly, slowly, I've got nothing to stare at in this room to help me balance. Begin to lift. And again, it's the option of extending the leg out to the side, flex or point. And then in your own time, if you're good at Bird of Paradise, you can stay there for a little bit and breathe. Otherwise, begin to come down. Move the blocks out to the side. And just move yourself around onto all fours. Take a moment in child's pose. We've done lots of external rotation through the hips today, so outwards, so we're just going to close by coming into a pigeon, Vinyasa, half or full, and then we'll come to lie in mermaid for our rest and close our practice. So rise onto the knees. We'll take the left foot forwards first, right leg back, so we want that knee right in the midline. And then you're just going to walk that back leg behind you, release the top of the foot, and either come down or stay up a bit taller. And we're just going to hold here for 5 breaths. Right hip dropping down. If that's difficult for you, you can always place a block just to that left hip, so you know you're not rocking down and the hips are staying fairly square. It should feel quite nice to do a narrow pigeon in this. So it just means my heel is really close towards me and my knees in, rather than that sort of figure 4 shape. Here. Holding there. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to rise and lift up. And then from there, you're just going to walk that back knee in, so much so that the legs become crossed, and either sit straight back down on a block, or again, so we should have knee on top of knee and the feet equal distance apart here. So if they're nice and wide, stay there. If they're not tucked in, keep them there. Again, welcome to sit onto a block. And the option here is just to really simple forward fold. And again, hold. So whatever leg is on top, you should feel that nice stretch to the outside of the glute again. Inhaling. If that is too much, you can stretch the right leg forwards and then keep that knee and come into a forward fold there. If that is still too much, you can always just bring the leg in and come into a forward fold like so. And of course, you can always do jagged. We have done a lot of hip opening, but of course, you can take a nice easy stretch. Say easy. It might be a little bit more simpler, less tight in the hips perhaps. Whatever works for you to stretch out the legs Perhaps be a little bit more internal rotation. Breathing in and breathing out. Begin to rise and lift, crossing the ankles, and we'll just take pigeon on the other side. So right foot forwards, left leg behind you, and stretch out nice and long, dropping down. Again, the knee is towards the midline, to the middle line of the body. Back leg is nice and long and straight behind you. Again, just 5 breaths here. A shorter practice today. Slowing down the breath, closing down the eyes if it feels good. And then walk that back heel in to come into your Vinyasa. Right knee is on top this time, squeeze the thighs together. And then again, just a simple forward fold. I'm not too worried about a really straight back today. It can be a little bit more rounded. I just want to get into the hips a bit more. And of course, if that's not working for you, then you stretch the left leg nice and long and come into a half variation. Holding there again, 5 breaths. So around 3 to go. Inhale, come to sit nice and tall. And then stretch the legs out ahead of you. Take both blocks and just place them on the lowest height. Shoulder blades onto the first block, and the head can come onto the second. Again, if you prefer a slightly higher block for your head, that can feel quite nice, a little bit more elevated. Just arrange the blocks so they're fairly comfortable. Tuck the tailbone and then drop the knees together. The feet wide, mermaid or constructed rest legs. Turn the palms to face up. Just take a moment here to settle. Breathe nice and easy. You can release your ujjayi breath now. Find your natural, easy breath. Close down the eyes if you haven't done already. Try and stay here for as long as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever it may be. If you have a breath practice, this can be a really nice posture to perhaps come into some box breath, some parasympathetic toning breath. Or even a nice simple yogic compartmental breath, breathing into the belly, breathing into the ribcage, breathing into the throat, and exhale and let go. Take 2 more breath cycles wherever you are. And of course, please stay. If you need to move on with your day, I'm going to get you just to very gently lift off the blocks. Just move them to the side. Roll all the way down onto your back and draw your knees in towards your chest. Alamelu pose. Forehead towards the knees. Inhale. Exhale, let go, take the arms up overhead and let the feet just drop back down again. When you're ready, rock and roll up to a comfortable seat or roll over onto right cheek and shoulder and come to lift yourself all the way up. Find your seat with just a single block or 2 blocks underneath you. Come back into Sukhasana or Siddhasana. nice and tall through your spine. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Hands through to heart center. Fingertips gently pressing away. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Live your life to its fullest. Embrace your life with passion. Bowing to the divine within you. And saying thank you for coming onto your mat as always. Namaste.